Hi there, kids. How are you? I hope you're all having a great time. Welcome to this special place created just for children, where we'll accompany you to have a cozy bedtime. Are you ready for today's adventure? Let's close our eyes and enter the world of dreams together. In a quiet little village, there was a young shepherd named Kevin. He spends his days guarding a group of lively lambs on the hillside, enjoying the tranquility of nature. However, Kevin felt that life was a little boring, and he longed for some excitement and fun. Then, an evil idea came to his mind. He wanted to create a seemingly real wolf attack to scare the villagers and add a little fun to his life. On the first day, Kevin stood on the hillside and shouted,
"The wolf is coming! The wolf is coming!"
The villagers heard his cry and hurried to the hillside with weapons, but in the end it turned out that only Kevin was there. Laugh at them. Over the next few days, Kevin repeated the prank, with the same effect each time. The villagers began to grow fed up, and some even began to question Kevin's motives. The sounds of warning and ignoring didn't stop Kevin, but fueled his excitement. He went even further, simulating more realistic wolf howls, making the villagers believe that this time it was real every time. However, Kevin's pranks gradually lost their effectiveness, and the villagers began to distrust him. At this point, Kevin decided to play one last prank to make the prank even more fun. When he shouted again that the wolf was coming, the villagers just frowned and ignored him. Kevin was disappointed. He stood on the hillside, watching the sunset, and gradually reflected on his actions. At this moment, he suddenly felt a strange chill. He looked up and found a huge wild wolf hiding in the grass. Kevin's heartbeat quickened, and he knew something was unusual. He shouted eagerly,
"This time it's true. Please come and save me and the lamb. The wolf is really coming."
But the villagers had already turned a blind eye to his warning, and they felt that this was still Kevin's case joke. This time, the real big bad wolf was not hindered and quickly attacked the sheep. Seeing this scene, the villagers realized that the warnings they had ignored might be true. Kevin watched the lambs being devoured one by the big wild wolf, feeling filled with regret and helplessness. He realized that his prank had led to this tragedy and regretted it. The villagers were saddened after the big bad wolf attacked the sheep. They couldn't help but begin to review their behavior and blaming himself for not trusting Kevin's cry in the first place. Kevin looked at the backs of the villagers as they left, his heart filled with guilt and regret. He decided to take responsibility for his irresponsible behavior. He apologized deeply to the villagers and expressed his regret. Although the villagers were disappointed with Kevin, they also taught him that everyone should be responsible for their own actions. This accident became a profound lesson that made everyone pay more attention to real crises and know how to stay calm at critical moments. This story gives people a profound revelation and warns us not to use pranks to tease others, because the result may be irreparable tragedy. At the same time, it also reminds us that we should remain alert when facing danger and avoid paying a heavy price for excessive jokes. In a kingdom, there was a king. His laziness was beyond imagination. He could be said to be a big slacker. Whether it's putting on clothes, wearing a crown, or even holding a telescope, it's all too much trouble for him. He had his servants do everything for him. On this day, a strange phenomenon attracted the servants' attention. A cat walks into the castle carrying a bag of vases, but these vases have magical power and can make any wish come true. The king was very curious and couldn't wait to try this magic vase. From then on, the king's life became more luxurious. Whether it was a delicious meal or sparkling gold coins, it could be easily achieved with just a spell. However, this made the king even more lazy, and he allowed himself to indulge in excessive use of the magic vase. The castle became chaotic. The servants could not stand the king's laziness and abuse of magic vases, and were eventually driven out of the castle by the king. The king was contentedly enjoying his idle life, completely unaware that he had lost his true value. However, the king began to feel lonely and realized that his actions made everything around him feel empty. So he decided to use a vase to turn himself into a cat and explore around to find the fun in life. The king cat makes trouble in the city, snatches food, and soils other people's clothes. People in the city were disgusted by his behavior, but he didn't care. While the king cat was sitting in the castle enjoying his lazy life, an old man entered the castle. The old man saw the loneliness and emptiness in the king cat's heart, so he decided to talk to him.
Lazy king, although you have everything, you have also lost the most important thing in your life.
The old man said. The king cat raised its ears and responded nonchalantly.
I have a bag of magical vases that can grant all my wishes at will. Isn't that the most important thing?
The old man smiled slightly and sat next to the king cat.
You're ignoring the true connection between people.
He began to tell a story. In an old village, there was a young farmer who owned a piece of fertile land and a happy family. Although he is not rich, he knows how to cherish every simple moment and share the joy of life with the people around him.
Maybe you can try to use your wisdom and ability to bring real happiness to this land and people,
the old man pointed out. The king cat fell into deep thought after hearing this. Perhaps this is an opportunity for change. He decided to put down the magic vase and start participating in the construction of the country. He learned to manage the land for the benefit of the people and won people's respect and love with his practical actions. The true value of life is not only reflected in personal enjoyment, but also comes from our dedication and care for others. Sometimes, letting go of some short-term enjoyment and pursuing deeper meaning will bring more long-term happiness. Hope you liked today's story. Good night.